And we're live. I'm here with my good man, Pox Toxic.
Yeah,
I,
that's great. I'm your good man, but you're gonna fuck my name up right off the bat.
I know, yeah, no, because I named it Toxic Poxulinity. And yeah, we were chatting the other day, and you came up with this really weird phrase, and I had no idea what the fuck you meant by that. So that's the name, Toxic Poxulinity. Weaponized Metokur.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, so you're basically just going to explain this to me and to anyone who wants to watch.
All right, so right off the bat, I'm just gonna throw this out there. I am a fucking drama whore, like it's nobody's business. I thoroughly enjoy watching people spurg out on each other over the most inane shit. It just cracks me up. Just because when people get mad, they tend to say really dumb shit and think that they're being like, either really profound or they're making a really strong point, or they don't stop to think like, hey, I might sound like a jackass right now. You know what I mean? And one of the things that I noticed in some of the ridiculous drama bullshit that I'd been watching over the past couple months was that people were getting so angry because they weren't getting the results they wanted from people that they were angry at, that they were dropping Metokur's name like it was a fucking, like using it as a scare tactic. You know what I mean? Like, I streamed with Metokur's. This is Metokur level bullshit right here, implying that I can get a hold of Metokur and he will fuck you sideways until you get off the internet. Or, like, you leave me alone. If this doesn't stop, I'll just get a hold of Metokur or something. That kind of bullshit. It's like, dude, okay.
Oh, like the internet equivalent of putting your hand in your pocket and saying, "I've got a gun."
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, and just for reference, this is probably retarded because if you're watching this, there's a good chance you know who Metokur is. He goes around and finds the most fucked up people you've ever seen in your life on the internet, the craziest, most degenerate, goofiest sons of bitches you've ever seen, from fur fags to fucking political retards to full on like case study psychopaths and insane people that kind of congregate on the internet.
Like that weird group of gay people who refer to AIDS as the gift, and they really want to get the gift and stuff.
Oh yeah, the
That was
posers,
fucked
the, the
up.
the positivity crew. Yeah, dude, those guys. That's the sickest shit I've ever seen. There was some new shit that he put out that was beyond even that, involving furries that fuck roadkill and do all kinds of ill shit. It's bizarre, but besides that, like, he also goes after people that are just do or say stupid shit. Like, he stirs shit. That's what he does, and he's good at it. But I've noticed that, like I said, I've noticed that people that know of him and know what he does, they get into shit that there's no clear exit strategy, or there's nobody who's going to come out like a winner, right, in these arguments. So that seems to be like a fallback, last resort cudgel. Like, I'll call Metokur, I'll get a hold of Metokur, and he'll, like I said, he'll fuck you sideways till you're off the internet. Dude, I've been following this guy for a little while. I know he's been around since Gamergate, right? And
Mhm.
you remember the Kraut and T drama, right? With the
Yes.
whole, it's a doxing server, it's not a doxing server, and the Kilroy insanity, and how fun that was to watch Meltdown, right? Well, there was uh there was a YouTuber, Liz Reptile, who at one point tried to do this. And I don't know if many people watch this, but she contacted Metokur. He talked about this, where she had sent him a random DM when she was having issues with all that craziness, and it backfired so hard. I mean, because instead of going after the people that she was trying to, use the Metokur gun on, he just turned around and said, "Well, what the fuck kind of shit are you into?" And then started talking to the people that she wanted him to go after, and it just blew up in her face. Like, I mean, like I said, you're dealing with somebody, with people who, like, a true citizen of the internet, somebody who's literally only here to laugh at idiots. Like, that's his only purpose for existing online. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why would you think it's a good idea to try to use somebody like that to go after people you have a disagreement with that you obviously can't handle shit with yourself. You know what I mean? It seems insane to me and big-headed. Like, your ego has to be massive to think that, a nobody who gets what, maybe at most 200-300 views on their shit in a week is I'm gonna hit up this guy who manages to pull in 27,000 people on a live stream, and they're gonna fuck you because I asked them to. Like, really?
While not realizing that Metokur is not a gun at all, but a double-edged sword, and you don't know which way he's swinging.
Oh yeah, and I mean, if you've watched any of the shit that's gone on lately with like Sargon and the Kumite and all that shit, everybody he's interacted with that have ended up having some kind of beef with him, he's managed to turn them into laughing stocks. And the beautiful part about it is he hasn't really had to do anything, because they tend to be the ones that spurg out at him to try to egg him on, and he just makes jokes and they continue the spurging. Like, they don't stop.
It's master troll.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Master
definitely.
troll.
But what it really got me thinking about really was, I don't know, like ego. Like, how does your ego get to the point to where you completely disregard the fact that you have very little following in comparison and think that you're going to be able to get this bigger content creator to go after your enemies just because you asked them to? Like, even if you send them the shit that's gone down, any, saved messages and all that shit, like, why would you, where do you get to the point where it turns over in your head that, hey, yeah, I could totally have this guy go after my enemies, and that's a good idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I can't even imagine.
And it's not just him, dude. There's a couple other people. I'd imagine a lot of the people that do content like that do the showcase kind of content where, I found this group of crazy people, or I stumbled upon this on the internet and I just wanted to show it to you. Like, there's another cat, Digby the Goat, right? Yeah, I don't really know, because I don't look at sub counts really. I just find these fucking people and enjoy their content, right? But look him up. He's got some funny fucking shit where people have sent him random Discord conversations they've had with weirdos, and he just does dramatic readings of those. It's fucking hilarious. Or he'll find shit on Tumblr, and it's not like the played out, look at this crazy blue hair feminist crap. I mean, it's legitimate borderline insanity that he finds. But I'd imagine that people that do this kind of content get this all the time, where just random schlubs and nobodies will just be like, hey, look at this guy, they're fucking crazy, you should do a video about them. But they're not really crazy at all. They're just having an issue with this person personally and not getting the results they want, so they're trying to basically weaponize someone else's influence, I guess. It's weird.
Yeah. And they're weaponized Metokur. Fuck. And I'm having trouble processing some of this. Like, yeah, ego for sure. But I mean, just the ego enough not only to think that you could do this, but to think that you will not immediately become the target. That you're not opening yourself up to the assault when the man's clearly done it before.
Yeah, I mean, it's bizarre. Like, I don't understand. I don't know. I don't, because I don't get it either. Like I said, it boggled my mind when I heard some of this come out on some streams that I watched, because people use it in passing. That's how you know that they're. I think it's a bluff mostly, because they'll say it in passing real quick, and they don't, like, they're not going to sit there and go on a rant about, oh yeah, I'm going to make sure that I get a hold of this guy and do this and that. It's always these passing comments, like they're trying to throw fear at somebody, like, oh no, Metokur is going to make a video about me. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, it's not just him. I've seen people do it with the Kumite too, where they've had beef with somebody and they've took it right onto fucking Tonka Sauce channel and they've just had like a fucking 2 minutes hate that lasts for fucking 4 hours, where it's just nothing but somebody spurging out and sounding like a little bitch. It's weird, man. Like, why do you get that pissed off over shit on the internet? Even if it's something that's worthy of being pissed off about, I don't understand screaming and bitching about it for fucking what amounts to probably about 30 or 40 hours, like a work week worth of freaking out and bitching, dude. How do you have that much time? Like, seriously, do you not have a job? You have nothing else to do with your time. It's weird, man.
Wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, I know my life interrupts my streaming schedule pretty regularly, so.
Well, fuck, man. I don't have an online life anymore, man. I might find some memes here and there, some GIFs. That's about it. I don't really have time to do the streaming thing anymore. Wish I did.
It's too bad because we do shit like this and it's hilarious. And just the idea that someone who's that like virulent at times will, I don't know what, white knight for you? Is that like the thought process? Maybe
it seems like it. You know what I think it is? I think it's because, all right, no matter what situation you're in, right? Just no matter who you are or what situation you get in, especially on the internet, you're right. You are fucking 100% right. Fuck the other person. They're always wrong. You are right because you are you, and that's the way it seems to be on the internet. Like, you are right. I mean, fuck, look at shit posters on the internet. Like, that's rule number one of being a dick. You are right, no matter what. Even if you're wrong, you're right. Right? And I think from there it goes to, well, if I'm right, then this other person is going to see that I'm right. So I could tell them whatever I want and give them my side of the story, and they're going to know that I'm right, and they're going to take up the mantle for me because I might be right, but I'm also a nobody. I have no influence and no followers, but this other guy does, and he knows I'm right, and I know I'm right, so he'll be in my corner. I really think that's the thought process. Like, it's really hard, I think, for people to take themselves out of situations and look at them objectively and actually admit when they've fucked up or overlooked something or done something wrong in the situation themselves, no matter how minor. You know what I mean? I really think that's part that plays into it too.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Like, I mean, even in science, like, some people are trying to argue that there's no such thing as actual objectivity because you're always like everything is literally subjective. You're there. It's hard to remove your own bias, right? And yeah, I know what you mean. But I mean, for the average person who's just mad about something, oh yeah, it's probably impossible for most people.
Yeah, but it's not though. It really is just a matter of calming the fuck down for 2 seconds to think it through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I've had some fucked up situations. I mean, hell, even recently. And yeah, I mean, you're pissed off in the moment, but after you take 2 seconds and calm the fuck down, you should be able to look at it and be like, okay, yeah, I did this and I fucked up. And then you have to own your fuck ups. You have to own it when you're wrong. You know what I mean? That's the only way you learn a fucking lesson from any of it.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, you can't just go screaming about some other person is your personal weapon on the internet. It's not gonna solve your problem.
No, especially when the other person is more likely to just fucking turn and start firing at you.
If you get annoying enough, for sure. Because I do remember vaguely hearing about something to do with Liz and someone else that, yeah, she was just like breathing down his neck way too much until finally he was like, fine. And when it hurt.
Oh yeah, it was Zephanorian. This guy, man, like, oh my God. Like, cause I watched a few of his videos, and the shit that he was putting up online. When I had found the dude, he was going after MGTOW. That was his thing. He was going after MGTOW. I'm all about, like I said, I'm a fucking drama whore, so I love it when people showcase morons on the internet and they show the insane, crazy shit that they put out into the public sphere. You know what I mean? Or the public space, as JF would say. You know, but this dude was going above and beyond. Like you could tell this is a guy who actually has this motherfucker's computer probably looks like an FBI computer with dossiers on motherfuckers that he was doing shit about, and was literally digging up personal information and dropping it in YouTube videos. But he was doing it on the sly and in this weird way to where he wasn't releasing the information. It was quote unquote already out there. You know what I mean? And people are getting slick with that shit too. Like it's already out there because it's on Kiwi Farms or what's that other one? Encyclopedia Dramatica.
Oh, but are these actually the ones that are like basically doxing websites that say they aren't?
I don't think they make any hang-ups about what they are. I mean, it's just they're just forums where people go and they post whatever they find about locales, basically. But the thing is that what they'll do is people will start these little groups, whether it's on Twitter or Discord or any of these like social platforms, right? They'll start these private groups and they all get together and they dig up all this information and then they drop it on these websites anonymously, right? And then they'll give it about a month, 2 months, and after it's been out there for a while, they can take the information that they've gathered and released, and then they throw it out there and be like, oh, well, it was already public information because it was here, and it was here, and it was there, and it was here, so I didn't dox anybody. This was all already public. Somebody else did this. Like, I really think that's what goes on with a lot of this shit. That was the big thing with the Kraut drama was, is it a doxing server? Is it not a doxing server? And that was always his argument, was this was all public knowledge. But there's whispers in some of the shadowy places on the internet and some of the back alleys, you know, that that's what they were doing. They were gathering this information and then having either them or somebody else that they knew, they were passing it on and having them drop it and then waiting a little while and then being like, oh, look, see, it's been here for so long. They already knew. So we didn't do it. This was already public.
Right. And yeah,
it's see, this is the gay ops shit. This is the super gay ops.
And that's on one hand, it's kind of impressive that people have that much patience to dig up that information, post it somewhere for weeks or months even, and then go use it. Like that's a hell of a strategy.
Oh, well, I mean, that's what you're dealing with. Like, because a lot of the people that do this shit, well, the bigger names involved in this kind of shit, they're like, there was a thing that Sargon started in about a couple years ago, I think, about the culture war. He started sounding like fucking Bill O'Reilly for a long time there about we're fighting a culture war against the fucking retarded blue hairs. And I mean, he's not 100% wrong, but once you get into that mindset of it's a culture war, anything goes in war. I mean, fuck, Winston Churchill he thought chemical weapons were a more humane way of killing people than bullets. Like, but he couldn't get anybody else to go along with it. So that's the mindset. We're in a culture war. We're at war with these people. So anything goes. We just have to be sly about it so we don't catch any heat from the people that might be against our tactics. Like that's the way they look at it. I mean, fuck, I'm not going to lie, dude. There's been not so much on the internet because, I mean, fuck, why would you take anything on the internet that seriously? But there's been some situations I've been in where I've been like that, where somebody's got under my skin or done something really fucked up to me. And it's like, okay, gloves are coming off. Anything goes now.
Right.
Like,
No, yeah, I'm just now having to diffuse a situation at work that basically somebody's got the upper hand on another person and is now using the same tactics the other person was using, and it's like, no, this is not okay. But
that's your perspective. I think it's okay. Depending on how bad they were fucking with him, I would totally not give him shit about it, unless it was like he was, you know, like fucking fucking another guy's wife or some shit like that. That's fucked up.
It's just first off, it's derailing. Second, it's somebody else's private shit. Just, you know, if the tactic is unjust or unethical, then the tactic is unjust or unethical. You can't start using it because somebody else did. That doesn't, especially when you already are winning. That's
yeah. That does turn into overkill, I guess.
Yeah. But this is fucking hilarity.
Do what?
This is hilarity. It's just like, who does that?
Hey, I don't get it either, man. Like, I've always been kind of under the impression if you can't solve your own shit, then maybe it's not a fight worth having. You know what I mean? Just take the lump and move on. But yeah, man. But it just I don't know. It's bizarre, and there's a bunch of other fucked up, weird internet squabble tactics that I've seen popped up that have me kind of concerned about the state of internet arguments and internet discourse. There's a new thing popping up where if somebody pisses you off, you just kind of subtly imply pedophilia or child pornography. And yeah, have you noticed that? And totally without evidence, not like you know, so and so might be up to this, and here's why I think that. Here's some fucked up shit they've said, or some fucked up shit they posted, or a fucked up group that I found them belonging to. It's nothing like that. It's like it's basically the same thing with, you know, throwing that Metokur weapon, and you throw the P word around, like you know, they pissed me off, so they might be diddling kids. You know what I mean? Like that's basically what it comes down to. As far as a good example of it, that's pretty much what Sargon was implying. He used this, what are they calling it? A Machiavellian tactic, where he basically said that he didn't outright call him a pedophile, but he said that Jim's grooming 12-year-old trolls is basically how everybody's been putting it. But he grooms young boys to troll on the internet. I mean, come on, dude. You hear the term grooming. Right. The automatic association in modern society with that word, it's not brushing your fucking hair and your teeth. Come on. You know what I mean? Especially not in the context of having a beef with somebody. Your automatic association with the word grooming, consciously or subconsciously, is kid diddlers. You know what I mean? Like, that's the implication. And then once you've got that out there, and if you keep hammering it, but you don't show any evidence, but you get people thinking, and then the next thing you know, they hear the name, or they hear that person brought up, and that's the association they make. That's the goal of that tactic, is you get people to associate their name with your subtle implications of, you know, horrible shit. It's nuts. And that's a fucking wicked road to go down too, because you're like, you know, being like, oh, you know, calling somebody a doxer, or you know, I'm going to use Metokur. Yeah, that's fucking retarded, especially if the evidence you provide isn't really that rock solid. But implying that somebody's doing something that fucked up, dude, that could land motherfuckers in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that goes both ways. I mean, because you fuck with somebody long enough with that without evidence, and then you can't prove it, and you fucking cause them some kind of real fucking damage in their life, that could backfire on you really fucking hard. You know what I mean? That's opening yourself up to a major kind of fucking all kinds of legal trouble if you fuck with somebody's well-being or livelihood using that kind of shit without, you know, with nothing to back it up.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking at defamation, slander. What's
libel?
If you write it down.
Yeah, well, it's the fucking internet. 80% of it's written.
But yeah, aren't there like sneaky, careful ways that you can do this? Like, I am of the opinion this person strikes me as a pedophile.
Yeah, but I mean, a good lawyer could probably still make a fucking slander case out of that. You know what I mean? Like, okay, that's your opinion, but you've said it so much that now it's cost this guy his job, his wife left him, blah 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 blah. You know, whatever. It depends on how far you take it and who you're contacting and who you're saying this to enough. You know what I mean? It's just that's a tactic that, I mean, like I said, anything goes in war, but that's some overkill shit, especially over internet beef, dude.
Just a low fucking blow, eh?
Nah, that's beyond a low blow, dude. That's some shit. Like, the second I hear that kind of shit, I'm like, okay, well, provide the evidence of what you're fucking saying. Like you're gonna have to show me something pretty goddamn rock hard, rock solid, dude. Like, that's there better be a solid ass foundation under that one. That's all I can say.
No, and I get it. Like, this whole sort of somehow it's making me think it's like a corollary to like Me Too and Believe Survivors crap, right? That you said it and people are just going to believe it because think of the children.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But I mean, the biggest difference between what I'm talking about and like the Me Too and that kind of shit is, at least the Me Too people have enough fucking. At least they're honest about their shitty tactic. You know, that they're saying, you know, listen and believe. You know, they did this, and I'm a victim, and you should believe it. This is, you know, oh, he might be doing this, and blah 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 blah. But I'm not going to try to provide any evidence. You should just believe it because I said so, because I'm me and I'm right. And I said this and I implied this. It comes back to that ego fucking shit, that narcissistic crap, man. I'm on the internet and I'm right. And I fucking implied this. So you better believe it.
Yep. It's still, I think. Yeah, I still can't disconnect the two things, though.
What, the Me Too and the
pedophile claims? Yeah,
like I said, I mean, it's you're right. It's basically the same thing. But I have, at least with the Me Too shit, they at least fucking have a banner they can put it under. This is, and they're going after prominent people for the most part. You know, what I'm talking about is nobody's going after nobodies and trying to ruin their lives. There's no point to that. Like, what does anybody gain? Everybody just comes out looking retarded. What is the gain there? It's different when, okay, if Bill Cosby drugged me and fucking raped me, like, you're looking at you could make millions of fucking dollars off of that. You know what I mean? That at least makes sense. But yeah, this nobody over here that nobody fucking knows and probably never will fucked with me, but I'm me, even though I'm a nobody. I'm me and I'm right. So
right, yeah. I'm me. I'm on the internet and I'm right. That's do you watch Westworld? No.
No, I've watched the old ass movie a long time ago about the killer cowboy robot.
Yeah. Well, this is based on that, but it's going to make a joke about it's the cornerstone of being an asshole on the internet. I'm me. I'm on the internet, and I'm right. Everything revolves around that. Your entire identity.
Kids, pretty much, man. There's actually, I think I might have showed it to you. There's a funny ass fucking Wikipedia article somebody wrote. If you Google search or Bing search "how to be a dick," I think that's what it was. How to be a dick. That's rule number one in this. It's like a fucking 10-page thing somebody wrote of how to be a dick online. And rule number one is I'm me and I'm right. Even if I'm wrong, I'm right. Like,
you know, we might look that up in a second, but right now let's turn to the chat. Hey Rose, shit, hey Six.
Hey, what's up, Six?
So Pox, you want dick pics? Asks Rose.
Nah, dude, that's Burnside's department. All your dick pics belong to Burnside.
Uh, and that's it. That's most of the chat, except for hellos from Six and Rose.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. It's bizarre. The internet's become a weird fucking place, dude. Like it's getting populated by more and more dumbasses. That's the only way I can put it. It's like it maybe not even dumbasses. I guess egomaniacs is probably more closer to accurate.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was talking with someone about this, probably a couple of people, and that it's totally okay to be the center of your own little universe. You should be, right? And you should be worried about the things that revolve around you that are very close to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you go on the internet, you're now surrounded by the entirety of human knowledge and anyone else who has access to the internet. So
you become a solar system in a vast universe.
Yeah, but the thinking is that I'm still the center of my own little universe, so all of these things are mine. Right? And people start taking it very, very seriously the way they do their lives, their real lives, but instead of, being connected to there's some rule about you can only really care about maybe 100, 150 people total.
Yeah, something about your brain can't process that much information about that many people, something like that.
Yeah, so like you've got your spouse, your kids, your close friends, your extended family, and then maybe a couple of other people around, and that's like the entirety of your world. When you go on the internet, it's literally every single person that has access to the internet, and you could find yourself like it's like this face to face with them, right? How else am I going to meet some random bluegrass muncher from Kentucky, right?
Oh, fuck you, maple chugger.
But now, if I start taking each and every interaction I have as seriously as I would in the real world, or maybe I don't know how not to do that because I've always been the center of my own little universe, and people lose their shit because they can't handle it.
Yeah, that could be that. You might be onto something there. Maybe that's part of the root cause of all this the outrage culture that's been fomenting all across the world here lately with with Twitter and the rise of social media and all that. It's basically making people schizophrenic.
Well, yeah, it basically like things like Facebook and Twitter just sort of shove all the people with internet access back into a high school hallway.
Yeah. You're back in the cafeteria, baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's another thing that's kind of starting to get to me is the outrage culture shit. Because okay, like one of the reasons me and you met was because we were both kind of into the same YouTubers that were doing the anti-social justice stuff, right? Like that was one of the first few things we started talking about when me and you met. And here lately, I think this was because I took my little hiatus from the internet. I've started to note that it's both ways. Like you have the social justice side that's all pissed off over, in my opinion, was mostly irrelevant shit. But then on the other side, the anti side is getting to be just as fucking retarded because they're pissed off at the people that are pissed off at the inane, ridiculous shit that doesn't have any substance. So in the end, everybody's just pissed off at nothing.
Right. Yeah, no, I see it.
Like I can't. I swear to God, if I see one more, look at this retarded blue hair video, man, I'm gonna fucking shoot myself. That horse has just been beaten. It's beaten to death. It's gone. It's done. Everybody knows. We already know.
No, but I mean, I don't know. I've met a couple of proper social justice warriors in real life recently, and man, it is frightening. Frightening to hear someone
starting to pop up around here. It's not good.
Yeah, and I understand how you like. It's easy to get that angry about it, and just start thinking these people all gotta go. Like,
I don't know. I've got to the point where I start looking at them like children. It's because a lot of them, it just seems like, oh, you have so little life experience. You've done next to nothing, and you have these grandiose ideas. It's so sweet. It's adorable, but you're wrong. you, like, you'll learn it in time.
I'm trying to at least, not get that angry about it, and just.
I'm under the opinion that you just have to laugh at it, man. At this point, I mean, you gotta treat them like the lollies and just give them head pats. Just it's adorable. Talking about underrepresentation of minorities, that's so cute.
Oh yeah, and how a socialist structure would make all of society better. The problem, the reason that I got particularly scared and was pretty agitated was because this person was a teacher. Like,
I can admit that does get kind of that's when it gets to levels of you might want to be worried. But I mean, look at the backlash it caused, man. There's enough people that have fully functioning brains that can be like, holy shit, this is not going to end well, that eventually it'll get stamped out. It's not near as prevalent as it was, at least not in the US. It doesn't seem like look at YouTube, all the fucking the bedroom feminists and all that they're gone now. They got blown the fuck out, and you don't hardly see them anymore. Like, I don't even think, is Christy Winters still a thing? Does she still, like, nobody even talks about her anymore. You remember when she was like the fucking dragon that had to be slayed there for a little while? Like her and Steve Shives and all those guys. Like, nobody talks about them anymore. They've been laughed into irrelevance already. And that took what, a year, 2 years?
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah, no, Six is saying he did a stream a year ago on purity tests that predicted a lot of this bullshit, right? And yeah, just if they don't get licked by their own stupidity, then they eat each other. But that's the problem, is that the people who were originally doing the licking may now actually be falling into the same fucking trap that they're out to eat each other now, right?
Well, you're talking about on the anti side?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen. I mean, look how quick Comicsgate fucking blew up, dude. Like, it turned it at that whole situation kind of killed me too, because that started, there was the first guy I watched who did a video about the social justice shit in comics was this cat named Nim Headroom. I don't even know if he's still around. And this was 3 years ago. Like, he switched up his content from talking about blue hairs to doing comic reviews, and then he noticed, like, this is weird. There's all these talking points in it. Well, he's not even mentioned in the comics gate shit anymore. It's all this Ethan Shiver dude, who's, I guess he's an artist or whatever. I'm not super huge into comics anymore, like when I was a kid, but that's starting to blow up. Now they're turning on each other. The one cat that I watched that really does a lot of streams about the more nerdy shit, D&D and comics and video games and shit, Nurgle. He was saying on one of his streams that he's had people on the Comicsgate side come after him because he's basically told them, like, hey, look, instead of trying to do this online hashtag activist bullshit, just stop buying the fucking comics. You want to make an impact? Don't give them your fucking money.
Yeah.
And he said they've jumped his shit basically because, there's this particular writer or artist that works for this company and I really like them and I don't want them to go away. And it's like, dude, they're not gonna just fucking give up the thing that they've been working on their whole goddamn life. They'll find another fucking project to write or draw for. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
They just won't be doing your comic book idol anymore. They won't be doing Spider-Man or Superman or whatever. They'll be doing something else.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of the issue I'm having too, is now everybody, whether they want to admit it or not, on some level, it's like everybody's an activist. They're all culture warriors now. We're gonna make an impact with our opinions and our bitching, our nonstop 24-hour bitching.
That's what I'm doing. Have you looked at my channel? Yeah, no shit. You were like one of my
To your
first
credit,
subs.
though, you cover semi-important shit, news articles, and
Yeah,
shit that could have a actual impact on your fucking country. I mean, like that faith.
That's social justice in comics.
Yeah, you're not into like you're not doing hobby shit. You're doing shit that might actually sway somebody's opinion on something that matters. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't count. I mean, I wouldn't say that's even. Is that would you call that culture war shit?
I mean, to a degree, yes. Like, I mean, I don't really look at it like not as war, but yeah, like I mean, things are going way too left. Like the way, yeah, that they say that progressives have become so progressive they're actually regressive, and that's very much happening here. And you know, that's got to stop. We've got to make people aware of it. Like we basically, yeah, people in Canada have got to remember that it is okay to be white, and then everything's going to be fine.
White pride worldwide, baby.
It's going to get taken so out of context.
I don't, dude. I'm from Kentucky. Everybody already thinks I'm racist and fuck my sister anyway. What the fuck do I care? Like, that's the big stereotype. Oh, you're from Kentucky? Which you fuck your cousin? You know how many times I've heard that online?
What was it?
It's like, nah, but I'll fuck your mama.
How do you circumcise a Kentuckian? You kick his sister in the jaw.
Yep, I heard that one before. I should have got that one right off the bat. But yeah, man, that Faith Goldie shit, dude, that was ridiculous. Her getting yanked off the stage.
Yeah, like, Alex Jones touched on that, eh? Apparently, last night was my Alex Jones moment.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, I had to start watching his shit again. I had to take a break from politics and world events, man. It was making me fucking miserable because again, it's nonstop bitching, and nobody ever gets anything done. And it's just you spend too much time on it, and you'll go fucking crazy.
Yeah. I mean, on the other hand, not spending time on it was what was driving me crazy. I've been using the internet as an outlet. I feel much better now.
See, this is where I was a few years ago, right? Because I've known about Alex Jones since Christ, like the late '90s, right? Long ass time ago. The first time I saw him, it was probably '98 or '99. There was a show on Comedy Central, and I want to say it was the Daily Show, and this was before Jon Stewart took over. Was it Kevin Nealon?
No, Colin Quinn.
No, I can't remember what the guy's name was. Maybe it was an Odenkirk. I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was. Have you ever seen Weeds? The show Weeds?
Yeah.
You remember Doug? The guy at the end of the series, he ended up starting his own cult. He was like her best friend. Was buying pot off her. He ran the city council in the first season.
Yeah, that's Kevin Nealon.
That's Kevin Nealon?
Yeah.
I want to say he was hosting it, but like I said, this was so fucking long ago, man. I might have it all scrambled in my brain, but they had Alex Jones on this show on Comedy Central, and he was talking. This was back when the big thing was fluoride and Bill Clinton. You know what I mean? So they were trying to, laughing it off when he was talking about the fluoride, and Jones is just sitting there serious as fuck. He's got a stack of papers and printouts and government documents that he's trying to show. And it was, so I started watching him back then. And then after 9/11, I really fucking got into his shit because, the whole 9/11 conspiracy shit and all those rabbit holes. I was going down all those and just digging, just looking at all sides of that. And, I started to kind of go a little crazy because I'd find all this shit and I'd try to talk to people about it, like my family or my buddies, and they'd look at me like I was fucking out of my head. Like they looked at me like you'd look at the homeless guy camping out in his own shit on the street corner. You know what I mean? Those were the looks I was getting. So I just kind of got to the point where I was like, all right, I'm just not going to talk about this shit because everybody thinks I'm losing my mind.
And it's Craig Kilborn.
No, it was after him because he had because I remember Craig Kilborn. He was a funny motherfucker.
Was there someone in between Kilborn and Stewart?
It might not have been the Daily Show. It might have been some other weird little talk show that they had. But it was like the setup was like a late night talk show or like the Daily Show. You know, guy sitting in interviews, makes jokes about news articles every now and then.
The original fake news shows when it was cool and funny to be fake news instead of
exactly. Yeah. Exactly what it was. To be honest, it might not have even been on Comedy Central. I can't. It was so long ago, man. I can't remember what it was. I just remember that was the first time I heard Alex Jones' name, and this was back when he was when he had just got on the Clinton shit list because of all the shit he was talking about on his public access show. You know, that's how long ago this was. But yeah, man, I totally get the using the internet as an outlet because, you know, you can't, everybody thinks you're crazy or you can't get anybody to stop and think about what you're saying or look into it, man. I totally get that.
But how do we circle this back to weaponized Metokur so we can close it off?
Don't shove your head so far up your fucking ass to think that you're going to get a troll to do your dirty work for you. How about that? How's that work? That I think is a good capstone right there.
Yeah. That'll do. I mean, fuck. So, yeah, don't weaponize another person. It's dehumanizing.
Not only that, it makes you look like the fucking asshole. It makes you look more retarded than the person you're trying to fucking go after, in my opinion.
And yeah, it's dangerous. You never know when that's going to backfire on you.
Oh, yeah, you should. If you have half a brain, you should. 99.9% of the time, that's going to bite you in the ass. It doesn't matter if it's Metokur or somebody else you think is better than you at fucking going after people. They will eventually fucking turn on you, dude, because you will become a lolcow in the end. Everybody is. We all do stupid shit. We all say stupid shit. And at some point, you deserve to be laughed at. That goes for you, me, everybody.
I agree. I agree 100%. So that's that, ladies and gentlemen, is weaponized Metokur. I want to thank Fox Toxic for explaining it to me and to all of us. Thank you kindly for coming on, sir.
Hey, no problem, man. Anytime.
You got anything in the works?
Work. I have no time to do shit, man. I've been trying to sit down and play with OBS to get some good comedy screens going on for some streams. I just haven't had time to do it. There's too much real life shit going on for me to be dicking off on the internet right now.
Always. What's that joke about how, my life and job is interrupting my internet time? Quit life and job.
Oh, dude, I could do a whole nother stream on that about fucking being addicted to the internet, man. I really think that's a lot of the fucking problem now too. Well,
then sometime in the coming weeks we should do that. So that'll be the next one. Internet addiction with Pox Toxic.
I'll come up with another good name for that one too between now and then.
Beautiful. Okay, so thank you all for joining us. Thanks for hanging out in the chat, guys. And we will see you when we see you. Good night.
Have fun, y'all.